Okay, guys, today is a super quick video, rapid fire format. I'm going to give you 3 advanced aiming tips that will help you irrespective of what current skill level you're at in Fortnite. So if your goal is to become a pro or if your goal is to just play with your friends and get better, these aiming tips will help you regardless. So super quick, not going to waste a lot of your time. We're going to get right into it. The first video actually showcases the idea that you should be aiming where you think your opponent is going to be, not exactly where they're at. So the reason why this is the case is because the flick that you do will take some time. And so generally speaking, in aiming, you want to actually pay attention to where the opponent is going. So if I play this video out, notice how when I flick here, I don't actually flick right here. That doesn't make sense, right? If I flick to the head right now, I'm going to miss the shot because the opponent is going to be somewhere else. If we take note of the fact that the opponent is moving left to right, we should actually be flicking right here, right? And if we flick right here, we will hit the shot, right? And actually flick even deeper because of the fact that the opponent's moving even further. But you see the idea. You want to pay attention and incorporate into your flicks where the opponent is moving or where they're going to be in half a second from that point. If you incorporate this tip, I feel like it's going to help with your aiming a lot because this is a common issue I see across multiple students. So make sure you're doing this as well. Second tip, super simple. I genuinely believe in-game aim experience trumps Kovacs or aim labs purely because there's situations in the game that you cannot replicate. So for example, if you watch this clip out, I mean, generally speaking, my crosshair placement is horrible here. Like you can see that as I go into this area, I'm literally looking in the middle of nowhere, but I'm still able to hit the shot purely because of the fact that I have experience. I know where the opponent's going to be, right? Even though I can't see them. And this only genuinely comes from in-game experience. So aim duels, fighting, put yourself into a lot of volume in these in-game experiences. So there's 2 main ways to do that. I would say aim duels is really good, but also like try to practice your aim during fights. A lot of people look for other alternatives, but aim during fights really gives you this experience. The idea is Fortnite is already aligned to what Fortnite needs, right? So if you want to get better at Fortnite, play Fortnite. If you need a lot of reps, then I do recommend aim duels. Of course, Kovacs is going to help. By all means, don't skip that, but supplement it with a lot of in-game aim training. The third clip, super straightforward, showcases the idea that crosshair placement, this is probably the most important idea in this video, by the way. Crosshair placement is the most important. So after you do an edit, pay attention to your crosshair placement. And like, for example, one idea with crosshair placement is if you're doing some sort of movement, incorporate that into your crosshair placements. Like for example, I'm jumping out here from left to right. And so instead of looking at the opponent, that won't help because the fact that my crosshair after I move will then be to the right. Because I'm moving left to right, I put my crosshair to the left of the opponent so that the crosshair can realign itself properly. Does that make sense? So that is really what I want you guys to focus on here. Because you want to, like, if you're moving left to right, put the crosshair to the left and just keep your mouse still. Let your movement do the rest of the aiming and then just click on time. That's a really good way to crosshair place. And another example of that right here. I believe it's coming up. So after the edit, like notice after the edit, I don't just like flick up and then look here. I flick up and then look down. And notice if I had to pick a side in terms of where I want to look, I look to the left of the opponent instead of the right. So I lean or bias myself to the left because you'll notice if I look to the right, notice how my character will actually block the opponent. So if I had to like pick a, like obviously I would rather crosshair place perfectly on the opponent. That would be preferable. But if I had to lean one way, I'd rather lean to the left so I can clearly see the opponent. So you'll see it here. I can clearly see the opponent. Imagine this crosshair was here. My body would be blocking the opponent. It would be a really hard shot. So there's an element of understanding that third person perspective as well and incorporating that into your crosshair placement as well. So those are 2 tips for your crosshair placement.